Hello friends, and welcome to this assembly language programming tutorial. Here I'll discuss about a program regarding function calls, making a function and then giving it a call from your program. So basically this is somewhat more typical, and I got stuck few times on this. That's why I'm sharing it for the better clearance of basics. So start from the top. We have our data section. We have three strings. First is called Mark, another is called Chris, and third one is nline, basically new line. It is having only a backslash character. So coming down, we got no operations, series of no operations, so that GDB doesn't bug us. In our stack section, I have one variable called string. Okay, let's start our program from text section. So what we are having here, we have defined a function. I guess you have seen the previous video how to define a function, a type of function, and the function is new line. So basically what is the meaning of defining this function is so that we could use a new line, just we could introduce a new line in the output of the program as soon as we find something which could congest our screen output screen. Okay, so what is new line having? New line label is having a full print routine and a return statement. So what is there in print routine? We are printing the contents of nline string, nline data. That is a nline is a item containing a backslash character. Let me show you. Nline is containing an ASCII string which is only having a backslash n character. Fine. So backslash n, as you know, it returns the control to new line. Later on, the length of this character is 1, calling the interrupt, and then returning. So basically returning, it returns the control of execution to the same place, to the next instruction from that place from where this new line function has been called. Next we have our print routine named function. What print routine is doing? The same print routine up till here, and the new thing what we are doing here is, it is a little bit not complex actually, it is little bit tricky. So basically we are using in this print routine kind of function, what we are doing is we are using a variable called string, and the character length is 12. So basically I kept a fixed length of character so that to make you just this program just simple as of now. So the trick behind this using this variable string is, where is variable? Yeah, here. String is empty. It is not having anything inside it. Basically it is a blank variable right now with a strength of 20 bytes defined in our memory. So as of now, the print routine function is having a variable inside it, defined variable which is blank. So it doesn't matter, if you want to print out something onto the screen, we will fill it up. We will fill our desired data what we want to print to screen. Basically in following section, what we will be doing is, we'll just call the print routine, and before calling the print routine we will explain to the processor that what we want to print to the screen. Okay, so basically that data we will fill the string variable with. Okay, for simplicity I have just kept the character length at 12, interrupt, and returning to the same section from where it gets called. Okay, so these sorry, so we start our main start. So in the first section we'll call just for just will call this function, basically not calling, we will just print mark to the screen with a variable string. Okay, so how do we do that? You remember how we used to shift the data from one data section to ex register, and back from ex register to some variable. The same trick we are adopting over here. We are sending effective address of our string mark. What is string mark? Mark is this one. So basically from data section we are sending the effective address where we've been. I just got confused. Okay, fine. We are sending the effective address of this string mark to our source index. So basically we are making mark data string our source. And what is the destination? By default is our ex register or accumulator. So the next command for loading from data string, basically from memory to one ex register, is loads. Loads command. Load instruction will just fill the data to our ex register. Correct. Now we got some data filled in with ex register. Now we need to send it to string over here, string variable. So the next instructions we have used in previous video is load effective address of the string variable and make it a destination. And what will be the source will of course by default ex register. Correct. So we use the instruction stozel just shifts your data from ex register to whatever is in destination, whatever address has been pointed out by the edi register. Edi, okay, destination index. Now after, when we are sure that there is some data, our desired data, in our variable string, we go ahead and call the print routine. What print routine does is, print routine will just straight away go to this section and it will print the string. What is there in string? We just shifted some data to string. Remember what was that data? The data is mark in capital letters. We have shifted it to finally to string variable, and we are calling the print routine now. The print routine will straight away go and carry out a print routine, and it will print string its contents to the screen. Correct. So, and after this is completed, this return statement, it throws the program execution back to that place from where it was called. It was called from print routine section. So the return sends the control back to this place. Fine. The next instruction after the calling function. This was the calling function, and the next instruction to it is call new line. So the control from return is handed over to this section. Now after printing mark to the screen, what we are doing is we are calling a new line. We are calling this function new line. So what it basically does, it just simply sends the, let me show you, new line sends your present output to new line. Move n line to ECX. Basically we are printing the contents of n line to the screen. And what is n line? N line is a backslash n, a new line character. So with whenever we call new line, our output screen will shift to the new line. Correct. So we are calling a new line. So basically after printing mark, we are printing a new line so that our execution goes to a new line character. Like the output would be here in the output screen, and as soon as this new line is called, output will reach a new line. Now what we are doing, I have again called the same kind of routine like over here. Loading effective address, shifting a data from some data section to ex register, and from ex register back to our variable, some defined variable. So I'm doing again the same thing over here. If you just pay just attention, this time I'm loading the effective address of Chris. Chris. I'm loading the effective address of Chris, which is holding capital KRIS. Correct? So Chris effective address has been loaded to source index, and our destination becomes EX register. We copy the data from Chris to our EX register. Okay, to our EX register. Then from EX register, this is the routine for printing the data, for shifting the data from EX register to our variable called string. You remember what is string? String is a universal. Look, string is a universal variable we are using in print routine for printing anything onto screen. Whatever you want to print, this is the beauty of this string right now. Whatever you want to print to screen, just shift that data to this string variable and just call the print routine. Okay, so basically we have loaded the data KRIS in capitals to our string variable, and now we are calling the print routine. Print routine will straight away go to this section and it will print the contents of string to our output screen. Then return, it will return the control over here. Sorry, my mouse is right now not functioning properly. The return function will return the control of execution to the next line from where it was called. Okay, you will find this kind of tricky language in most of the ebooks, that the control is handed over to the next instruction line from where it was called, and that language is quite confusing. So basically you call the function from here, you use the return, and returns the control over here. So in the end we're calling an exit routine. Okay, so let's run this program. Where is, okay, we assembled it, we linked it, and now we run the program. Just notice, first print is mark, which is the output of our first time calling the function print routine, and then we print a new line character. The control goes to a new line. Then we again shift our data from Chris data section, Chris string, to EX register, and then back to a variable. So basically we shift our data from a string to our variable, and then that variable contents are being printed onto the screen by calling the print routine call. Okay, so basically I guess that's enough for clearing the complete basics of calling some functions. Okay, so goodbye then.